Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First up of 13.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year. And runs like that on opening weekend.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run on 1st down. Donnelly. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 2nd down now. Donnelly. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll try the air now with Watson. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
This fielded at the 2. Oh, he shifts past him. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
On 1st and 10, Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Taylor, and he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Well, throw on the quick slant, going to be complete. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll run with Taylor. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on 3rd down, Fields. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Set. 19. Watch the slant.
To throw is Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And defensively, they're going to have to do something about him in a hurry because that last catch puts him over the 100-yard mark. We haven't even hit the second quarter yet.
And you did say they'd have to do it in a hurry. It has to be right now because as his confidence grows, it'll actually overwhelm the defense. No matter what they do, he'll feel like they can't stop him.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down.
My game. Bound to lose 1. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 49-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Faking the give. Now Watson. That ball complete to Isabella. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. The point after is good. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and which you also have to guard.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Fields under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ed Oliver in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. On 1st down, Donnelly. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And he's got his man on the out route. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there, picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd and 10.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Looking to throw on second down. Fields. And that is incomplete here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. The Falcons send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. He's crashing. He's checking crash. High 24. Let's go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They run. Robinson. And an alley to run. It's a foot race. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. No problem there on the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And this one complete to Smith. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. On first down, Fields. It's caught. Smith. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Here's Watson. Able to find Isabella. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. A beautiful fake. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they think they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They're going to try and throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Donnelly, he's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game as his guys continue to pour it on. The extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again. 97's the mic. Hurry.
Throwing on first down. Fields. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This one caught by Isabella. That's good for 28 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Watson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. Extra point safely through, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just put their ears back and get after him now.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Taylor. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but It's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. On fourth down, Fields. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He cannot wiggle free. They stop it at the line on fourth down. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on fourth down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on fourth down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions, because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now this throw caught left side. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. To rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. And this one's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Watson now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Defense from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. On 1st down, it's Taylor. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Now, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. It's caught. Cooper. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. On 4th down, Fields. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the gun, Fields. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 45, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw, Watson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Andy Isabella with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
198, watch 98, 98's the mic. Here we go, D. Here I come.
On 1st and 10, Fields. And he will find his man on the outside. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And Oliver able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Fields. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Defense wins championships, baby. 25, check 25, check 25.
On 4th down, Fields. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And they will take a knee here. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
It is just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Seahawks, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they obviously and they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what?
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3 quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
They'll run on first down. Pryor. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. So much for staying ahead of the chains with a 3 or 4 yard gain on first down. They moved the chains with a nice little run.
Yeah, they're making the chain gang hustle a little bit to try and keep up, aren't they? Because a lot of the first series of games are scripted, many times to probe and find some holes in the defense. Sometimes you attack with some big-time runs, too.
And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And he's got his man on the out route. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll get this one to Galloway. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
Well, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes.
A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off inside the 5, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On 1st down, it's Robinson. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. On 2nd down now, Donnelly. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. To throw is Watson. He's got his tight end fan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Seahawks moving pretty well.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.